Greetings guys, this is Blake Ratch here, and I figured to start off my YouTube channel with basically my favorite frigate, the Vigil fleet. I don't know why I don't see many more people flying this ship, man, because it's just like, it can take on so many things. It's got such utility, especially with the long webs and long point. We can do a lot of things. It's very easy to catch kiters if we slingshot them, because with heated webs, we're getting out to 19 kilometers. It also basically means that we can dictate speed in most fights. The only real frigate in Lowsec that you come across that kind of make range controls you is probably Firetail if you warp into it. The RD2 web one can be a bit of a problem if you want to pull range from, but if you're in the Plex, we can take out RD Firetail. Fortunately, I don't have any examples against RD Firetail, but it's definitely doable. So if we orbit at 12.5k out of the heated web range, we actually get people start to end up missing us with their artillery and rails. We'll see that against the Rail Comet fight. But yeah, I'm also using a 7% speed agency drug. We're going pretty cheap, and it also makes this fit far better. Especially what we're doing, basically pulling range or getting underneath people's guns. So yeah, there's a few disadvantages to the Vigil. It's not particularly the tankiest frigate, but the ranges that we're going to be at is actually quite decent. Also, cap life is very much a problem, especially with the long point running. Also, with heated ancillary, we're getting 38 seconds, so it's a bit rough. There's some cap management involved. You can't just keep on running everything and expect to win. The reason I have my webs out in the sides rather than what you'd probably have is the AB and the long point. I usually heat my webs a lot more. Keep AB to usually pull range, and then keep the webs heated just so that people can't escape, and if we need to, we can pull range a bit. Another little side note to note is that the Vigil doesn't actually do that amazing DPS, man. With Javelin, we're doing about 170k DPS. Not 170k, 170 DPS. And I sometimes don't factor into artillery, so we're doing more about 150. Cause I orbit a lot instead of keeping that range in this thing, and basically our artillery will miss a lot. You'll see that in a couple of fights. So yeah, I think that's covered pretty much everything. Yeah, let's go into the fights. Alright guys, this is an excellent display of why I like Vigil so much. This is up against a Rail Comet, which is usually a very hard fight for most things. So basically what I do, set my orbit to 12.5k. Ideally what I'm looking to do is basically orbit it out of its web range. We'll see that basically because we're orbiting that out of its web range, we'll actually be keep missing hits on us. That's ideally how you kill a Rail Comets here. This is again, this basically shows why I like the Vigil so much, man. It's weird that not many more people fly this, because it can, dance with the best of them, you know, the Rail Comet like this, so we'll see. I overheat my webs and AB, basically to get, just pull range as quick as I can, and make sure I don't, slingshot myself out of my orbit. And, I'll keep my AB heated for as long as I can, basically making sure I get, decent transversal. Once I know, set up a decent orbit, I'll stop heating my webs, there. I accidentally forgot to activate my point, which is a bad thing, but looking at the fight at the end for missing caps, it wasn't all that bad. So you'll notice in this fight also that the Vigil's quite cap intensive. We've only got 38 seconds with everything heated, so we sort of need watch your cap here. You also notice that Parabola is missing on us with the rails. So yeah, so this a really good way to play the Vigil is out of their web range. This is also how you can take out RD Firetails and stuff as well. So you notice how we're winning this. It's going very well for us. It's still a really tough fight though. You'll notice that stuff's turning off when you sort of watch a rep and stuff. So yeah, I'm very happy with that fight. I really like taking Rail Comets on. Alright, here we're going to see an example of what not to do and what to do with a hook bell. I warp into this hook bell expecting to pull range a lot quicker, man. I have Javelin loaded, and basically my idea is to get out of range of its rage and faction, and also be applying damage and force it to reload. By the time that it forces off that reload, we've usually done enough DPS as to where we've won. Now, looking at it in hindsight, I should have maybe loaded rage until we got to range and then switched to faction. So, we got him through quite a lot of his shield buffer, but he could have potentially been armor tanked as well, but I don't know. I fricked this one. I severely overestimate the hook bell in this regard. But yeah, I usually try and let hook bells warp into me and makes for a bit easier fight for myself. We'll see that in this next example. Alright, I'm chilling in this Plex, and this baller dude just warps into us. I usually do this and then hope that they start a faction or rage, and that way we can like sort of like dictate range, keep out their damage, making them forcing them to like either switch to javelin, or if they're like bad and they don't bring javelin, it's just an easy fight for us. So you'll notice for like a lot of this fight, we were taking like no damage, because I'm not sure if this dude does have javelin, but it takes so long to switch to it. So yeah, this is actually rep hook bell, so it's like not too much of a threat to us. To be honest, many hook bells aren't really a threat to us at this kind of range. Even if we switch javelin, we're doing roughly about the same DPS. I'm confident in taking the fight. So yeah, this is just really like working my way through his medium and celeries and his pace, and yeah, it's quite an easy win. Now I believe someone said this before once I was streaming, but the Vigil's like probably one of the strongest frigates if people warp into you. Like if you need to burn range, it can be a bit spicy. Like situations like this, like if a real comet or like say this hook bill like warps into us, is pretty much good for us. As you can see, he's a little bit tanky, but you'll notice that like probably like about now. Like I also like change my orbit into 10k. I don't think it's going anywhere, but just like make sure I secure the win. We do start taking damage now, but it's like too little too late at this point. That's yeah, it was a good fight. Maybe if the pilot like switched to javelin quicker, may have been a closer fight, but yeah. That pilot's learned something today. Alright, so this fight is going to get into 4x. No lie, I actually did C-kill check this dude. I was expecting basically a plate, dual web, and AB. But so basically what I do is I orbit out of its web range, expecting to be tracked quite well if I go in there. So what I do is I orbit out here, just like pathing away. I need to get his drones killed, because they apply very well. So I'm working down a nose, basically just like keeping him at range, making sure that his blasters aren't doing anything to us. Get rid of those drones, because they're like the only threat to us, really. Most cruiser fights, you basically want to kill especially in your frigate, kill the drones first, and then you can work the cruiser. So yeah, like I work through the set drones, and I work through these hubs. This is basically, they're not pretty much like, basically like, situates, like that's basically one. If you can't track us, and we can like eventually like whittle them down. But weirdly enough, this guy wasn't actually like a C-kill fit. I realized later in our fight, I was like tanking hard, man, with like a armor rep, so then I realized I was using a whip. So then I imagined he was like cap injector, so basically I came into like orbit at 500 and switched to rage, which was these shortly. And this fight took freaking ages, man, so I was surprised he took backup. I did ask dude if he like called for backup and said yeah, but it didn't come for him, unfortunately. So yeah, pure 4x, man. But yeah, this was a good fight. It took a hell of a long time, so I was really surprised that I didn't get in backup. Yeah, a cheeky wee 4x go, that's probably one of my favorite things, man, fighting up ship like that. It's so satisfying. Alright, Correx is actually a very good fight for us. Basically, it's an ammo check. This dude doesn't run Javelin, we win. And, kind of spoilers, he isn't. Basically, with Rage, he's reaching out to 12k, and with Faction, he's reaching out to 15. Javelin's 22, so he'd have no problem hitting us at this range. But because of the flight time of the missiles, even when you switch to Faction, we were like basically like kicking out at 14 when hit us. Basically, it's like a very easy fight for us, and like a very harsh lesson for our tier pilot here, Caleb. Always bring Javelin. So yeah, this is quite an easy fight. Like, it's always worth like trying a Corax, man, because even if he does have like Javelin and stuff, you know, it's like, and if he can't win it, he can just pull range and like warp off because our range control. It's quite an easy fight for us. And yeah, nice we kill. Alright, man, tactic going into this fight was basically like orbit, like out if it's autos range. I was expecting autos. So it was originally, I think it was 12.5k orbit I set, and basically kept my webs heated just to make sure that I keep it locked down. Try and keep out his web range, but I don't actually think this one has a web, which was weird. If it was artillery, I'd try and get into like 500 and basically underneath his guns. But this goes like really well, man. It's like quite an uncommon fit for Lowsec this dude was running. So I think if he's running like a dual rep armor one, or maybe, I don't know, some other one, it would have posed better. But this one, yeah, that's quite a nice wee kill. I was mildly intoxicated in this fight. It was Christmas after all. Yeah. So I was like super happy with this one. It's actually quite a bling fit too. I'll bring up the fit for fit for that in a sec. So yeah, Merry Christmas and whatnot. Alright, this actually turned out to be like a cool little 1v2. I was going in thinking it was just Kestrel, and I was happy that it turned out this way. This would have been like a very easy fight for us against Kestrel. I don't think there's many Kestrels that could give us a run for money. So basically, same with Orbit, I think it was like 13? Yeah, 13. Just to make sure that mouth is like rage range for sure, and then if he switches to faction, I can pull my range to 15 if I need to, just basically use damage. But the Kestrel's applying like no damage to us now. I'm not too worried at this point. The Kestrel's going down, he seems to be shield buffer. Nah, the Maul starts like putting damage on us. That's like the only damage we're taking, however. So I'm like, alright, easy, man. We're still like fully tanked. Time using the anti charges. Let's do some bad things to the smallest. Web, AB. I don't even bother like switching ammo. That could have been a bit of a problem, but this dude was slightly tanked, and it didn't seem to be a problem. I didn't think he had an ancillary armor rep or anything, so he goes down quick. And yeah, it's a nice V1 V2. A nice GF. Retributions and Slicers are really good fights for the Vigil. Basically, what you want to do is slingshot them, always overheat your AB into webs, make sure you don't burn out anything, but this is a very bad example, but I didn't have much other things to show. This dude basically like burns right into us and makes it very easy for us to catch him. Orbit 500 and get Nerfy's guns is so easy. I don't know if a lot, like, basically Pulse Slicer. Like, basically if any of these dudes want to commit to like point range, they need to be within 24 or 28 overheating. With like the AB like going 1.8k and like your overheated webs 19, it is very easy to slingshot them. So yeah, this has actually done like a very bad job. But basically it just shows you the premise of what you need to do. Basically, web them down, overheat AB, gunner to guns, easy. Alright guys, so that's the fight's done. I do hope this highlights why I like Vigil so much, man. It's like, that's such utility, man. You can take on like so much stuff, and so unfortunately I can get some clips for you to like sort of highlight more so, like against the Arty Firetail and such. But yeah, I do hope that's maybe like inspires some people like fly more in Lowsec. I'd like to see more Vigils in there. So yeah, I do hope this video is mildly entertaining and informative. I do plan on doing a bunch of other YouTube videos, a couple more in the Vigil at least for sure. So yeah, like thank you guys so much for watching and like spending your time watching this video. I do hope you have a good rest of your day, and yeah, I do hope to see you in the next one for sure.